Louis answer. All right. So may I have Yin's evaluator to read the purpose statement for him?
Hi everyone, sorry for the technical delay. Okay, Yinze, for today's speech, you are supposed to practice and be aware of your thoughts. Sorry, practice of being aware of your thoughts and also feelings, as well as the importance or the impact of your response on others. The purpose is for the speaker, you yourself, Yinze, to share your experience in dealing with this. Back to you, co-president of the evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Yin PM. So now may I have the general evaluator to read the note for the evaluator again?
Thank you. During the completion of this project, the member recorded negative responses in a personal journal and worked to reframe them in a positive way. Listen for ways the member grew or did not grow from the experience. The member is not required to share the intimacies of his journal. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, general evaluator. Now, our beloved Area W4 director, Yinze, are you ready?
Yep, allow me to share my screen. I have
Yes.
my slides ready. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. So now,
Okay.
Yinze, stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. Yinze.
Thank you very much, Johnny. I believe something that every university student and working adult we want to stop a really bad habit, and this habit is called procrastination. Having been someone who has procrastinated all my life, even in high school, even in university, I procrastinated all my assignments up to the last moment. And right now, even when I'm working, right now, as I enter the working industry in the past 4 months, procrastination is something that I still struggle with. But throughout the years, there's also been one thing that I've been doing, which is journaling, writing down my thoughts, and also doing counseling now and then when I'm facing certain struggles that I cannot, that I need help with. So after journaling and identifying my thought patterns and my emotions, I thought it would be insightful and also relatable to every single one of you to kind of understand the thought patterns behind procrastination, the cycle of procrastination. So it usually starts like this. You have an assignment, you have an exam that's due in 1 week. So you have 7 days to prepare. Let's just simplify it. You have 7 chapters. So in your mind, I would just have the idea of just okay, every day if I study one chapter, by then I would be prepared. But the very first day you sit down, you stare at the computer, your laptop stares back, and you just sit in the room silently questioning your life. You have no motivation, and the thoughts that are running inside your head is just I don't feel ready, and you get overwhelmed by the amount of tasks, the amount of content that you need to study. So what do? You seek distractions. You take Nowadays there's so many distractions. Our phones, even our phone itself. There's TikTok, there's Mobile Legends, there's so many forms of distraction. And usually when I don't feel good and I feel uncomfortable facing my studies, I just pick up my phone and just start playing games. And one match turns into two match turns into 2 hours, and by then I would have even less motivation to get started. Then I continue to do something else, continue distracting myself, and one day pass. mindset that we have when we procrastinate is, it can wait, I still have time. So this cycle keeps repeating. We go from no motivation, seeking distractions, and we procrastinate. Up until one day before, the exam is tomorrow. Then you feel this huge sense of dread, of running out of time, and regretting that you should have started earlier. This sense of dread. You're screaming like, why did I spend so much time? Why did I spend so much time on my phone? That sense of regret, that guilt. And what can you do at that moment? In those moments, I usually just try to do a summary, just try to skim through everything, and I would go for exams. I don't like staying up late, even for studying. So I would study a few chapters and then show up for my exams. And I didn't really have to face the consequences because I usually just get a B, at worst C. I've never failed a subject until I entered the workforce. You see this cycle of procrastination. Exams, I get a B, I still get a pass. So I get away with this bad habit. But at work, it's a completely different thing. If you have no motivation, you're forced to come up with motivation. And what can you do? You can't really seek distractions. You can't pull out your phone and just sit there when all of your colleagues are working. Pull out your phone and play Mobile Legends. If you have no shame, then that's something I would encourage you to do. So in that particular environment, you're forced to not procrastinate. And then you are forced to deal with the conflicts inside your head. So it looks something like this. So usually when we are not motivated to do things, usually when we're not motivated to do things, we feel like we're not ready and we feel overwhelmed. And that's because especially for me, I overthink a lot and I get really ambitious. I want to complete 2 chapters by today. And I set unrealistic expectations for myself. But after experimenting with what works, the thought process that needs to change is just to start where you can, to start where you are. And to tell yourself, you don't need to feel ready to get started. You just need to get started. And when it comes to distractions, you want the need to feel good. Work isn't something really pleasant. Sometimes it's a luxury to love your jobs. It's a luxury to love doing assignments. So what I would suggest everyone to do, and this is something that I've done, is just to ignore the voices inside your head and sit with the discomfort and just do it, as Nike says. And instead of focusing so much on the present moment and screwing your future self up, try to focus on making progress. So these are the strategies, how I try to reframe my thoughts in order to get myself to survive the workplace. Other than procrastination, and I've also identified quite a few most common negative thought patterns. So here are some. When you're trying something new, the first thing that comes to my mind is actually, I've never done this before and I can't do it. But in that moment, I can't really break free from that trap of rumination. But if you take a step back and treat yourself as a friend, give yourself some advice. Just say you can get better because good things take time. And another one would be when your work doesn't meet your expectations. I have this a lot. I've gone through this a lot. When I'm working, I have a certain expectation of how my work would look like. I want it to be 10 out of 10, for example. And when it doesn't meet my expectations, I beat myself up. I suck at this. Why? I never want to do this again. This job is not for me. It's not suitable for me. I would better be off finding something else to do. But this cycle stops when we recognize that we don't have to be perfect. That version 1 is better than version none. And one final common thought is regretting over something that you did or didn't do. Maybe you made some mistakes in the past. We all make mistakes. We are imperfect. And I've certainly done a lot of things that I'm not really proud of, that makes me feel like a terrible person. But if we keep living in our past,